Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on another one of my videos. I am ScreenSceneGuru, coming at you with a comic book review video. This is on both DC and Marvel Comics, so I've got a little bit of stuff to show off as well as an unboxing, so be sure to stay tuned for all of that goodness. But without further ado, starting off, we've got a 2017 DC Universe Rebirth comic, Justice League of America. This focuses on Batman retooling a new team of Justice League of America members, younger members, including Black Canary, Vixen, Atom, Killer Frost, and Lobo. I thought this was a really cool comic to whip out and to start reading. It's got a really cool cover on it, and with the announcement of Jason Momoa being our new James Gunn DC Universe's Lobo, I thought it would be a fun time to get into it and read. We got to see some cool action from Lobo, saving some people, doing some, main event time action with his awesome interdimensional Harley. We got to see Killer Frost and Atom working together. I'll show that off a bit. So yeah, them working together to activate a device to alert them of coming threats. Eventually they get that device working, and they see that they are being called to respond to threat. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but so they're being called. Batman reassembles his team. Pretty awesome stuff here. We get to see them kind of debating on who should be sent out. So pretty cool stuff here for those of you that like this kind of comic book story. This is a several issue event. This is just the first issue, and of course, while they try to battle with the new interdimensional threats, they have their matches made pretty much. A lot of people said that their powers were pretty much on par with each other's, leading to eventually Atom being captured, and then Batman having to offer himself as a way of protecting his younger member. He's like, oh, take me instead. But very interesting stuff with this first issue from 2017 of Justice League of America. I liked it a lot. I recommend you guys checking it out if you have that in your collection. Also, going into a bit of X-Men, I've got X-Men 92. This is after the events of Secret Wars. They mentioned that in the comic. I thought this was really fantastic to read. This is continuing after the X-Men series, I believe. The original animated series is a follow-up, and after the events of Secret Wars, of course. But we get to see the X-Men relaxing in Westchester. This is pretty much after the events of the Secret Wars in New York. And Doom has basically reconfigured this universe after Battleworld. So very interesting to see. All of those events have already happened. We do get to see, of course, Sentinels making their appearance and attacking our X-Men at a laser tag arena. So very interesting stuff there. Of course, they go on the offensive of attacking the Sentinels, trying to win back the day from all the baddies. But really interesting to see. We got to see Baron Robert Kelly appear with a Doom cape and these electronic. I don't know if you want to call them hounds, if you will. A chariot of hounds. And he basically asked the X-Men if they were okay from rogue sentinels being on the loose. Talked about how thank Doom that nothing happened to any humans. And Wolverine said that they should be thanking them, of course. He mentioned Claremont, which is a facility they later go to for rehabilitating mutants. So I thought that was very fascinating. They talk about that. So he discusses after the battle between Magneto and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, apparently this Claremont facility opened up to rehabilitate said violent mutants, and they're rehousing them now after Magneto's death in Secret Wars, which I did not realize that happened, but I've yet to read the Secret Wars comic, the 6 or 9 issues, so I need to definitely jump on that and get caught up. But we see that Charles summons his X-Men to go investigate the Claremont facility. They arrive, we're there. They are greeted by Cassandra Nova, and if you guys have seen the new Deadpool Wolverine, that's a character they recently showed off in the live-action movies. But she also plays Charles Xavier's sister, as well as Juggernaut plays Charles's brother. So very interesting. But I believe they've said before she was an Omega level mutant, very strong in the mind space. That we get to see when Charles is trying to make contact with his X-Men. He's greeted by Cassandra, waiting for him. She set a trap. So I thought that was very interesting to see all of her powers displayed. Very strong mutant. Just want to skip ahead a little bit. We do get to see her kind of ripping open Charles's mind, which I thought that was very fascinating. Her abilities are to kind of physically go into people's heads instead of Charles can enter people's minds without touching them. So cool to see her powers are opposite of his. And then of course she starts to do work with the X-Men, doing some kind of therapy session to show them how she does her treatments with the other mutants, the violent mutants. She makes them non-violent, and she has them regress back on their past traumas. This is Wolverine going through some of his treatment, just fighting himself, kind of. She has you get used to your own past experiences and then learns to cope with them instead of fight with them. So very interesting stuff there. I do want to skip just a bit ahead because we see Jubilee is not taken into the containers. She's left by her lonesome, allowed to wander around the facility. So that's very interesting there. This is when Jubilee is kind of a new, younger member. We get to see a bit of Storm, her treatments. So that was cool too. She of course has a really big issue with claustrophobia. She does not like to be in confined spaces. That comes with her background, her history. So of course Cassandra uses that against her. See a bit of that right there. Okay. Moving on, we've got a little bit of romance with, of course, Gambit and Rogue, like always. Them in white, which I thought was kind of nice. You know, it was sweet. Talking about their wedding plans and future together. But we also get to see a little bit of background with Rogue. Her talking about how originally the heroes of the X-Men didn't understand her. The only people that could were Magneto and the evil League of Mutants, evil Brotherhood of Mutants, and that they convinced her to steal Captain Marvel's powers, and that she didn't know if she would have joined the X-Men on her own, or if that's still a part of Carol Danvers trying to make her do good to make up for what she's done. So very interesting dialogue there. Moving on, I just want to skip a little bit ahead. Not too far, but she rejects Beast because she says that her mutants can't look like animals. So funny that she talks with Beast and she likes his intelligence, but she says unfortunately he's not the type of mutant that they're looking for. So she rejects him from her teachings and her class. I just want to go, oh, here's a good one, where they introduce X-Force. Charles makes a psychic connection between Cable, I believe, or one of the leaders of the X-Force, and they arrive to provide aid. So very interesting stuff there. Like I said, X-Force, it has Archangel, Psylocke, Cable, Bishop, Deadpool, and Domino. So very interesting group there. Two of them from the future, a different timeline. So moving on from there, we get a nice picture of the X-Force. It's so cool, I think. But yeah, they give you nice posters in here too of all the teams. We see Psylocke begin to work on Charles Xavier, trying to fix him. We get to see, I like this too, Cassandra makes fun of the Watcher and basically just says she can be anyone that they've encountered at any time in their memory. So for those of you that are fans of What If, they did a bit of a What If cameo there with Cassandra turning into the Watcher. Moving on from there, let's see. I want to get to a really good page. She shows off, Cassandra's got her own version of the new X-Men that she likes to show off. That's Logan, Rogue, and Gambit that are the ones that convinced were actually taken to the therapy, and she was able to get on her side. She put them in the white and gold, which I like the colors of the new suits. It's just, they were very modest, kind of a milquetoast group with these visors on like Cyclops, I guess, to keep them in this trance. Moving on, let's see, I want to get to a good picture. Here's a nice one. We get to see a bit of Baron Kelly and those hounds. Psylocke releases the hounds to attack this giant sentinel that they've developed. Some of this storyline has been used for the X-Men 97. I haven't caught up just yet. I'm currently on season 4 of X-Men, but I'm almost all the way caught up. So I like to see that they used some elements in the comics to show off the show. Really fun stuff there. Really well done art design in this comic book, guys. This does not have an issue. It says it's just issue 0. It goes by the title of War Zones. So if you guys are interested in checking out this X-Men 92 War Zones, has a really interesting part right towards the end where Cassandra Nova fights the Phoenix. So really cool part there. I just wanted to show that off. Because I had not seen this fight before. And then of course we also get to see Charles brings out this new subconscious foe. I believe I've heard his name before. It's a mix between Magneto and Charles's consciousness. I believe it's called Magnus. But Magnus came out of Charles and fought the Shadow King as well. So that was a really cool fight to see. But moving on from there, we get to see the entire X-Men helped Charles defeat Shadow King. So that was really cool. They used their energy together to build up enough force to basically condense down the Shadow King into a gun, a bullet, if you will, and they shot him at the Sentinel. So I thought that was really funny. But yeah, we got to see Gambit ride his motorcycle onto the Sentinel, telling Wolverine he needs to get a new bike. That was a really cool scene. And then, of course, we got to see Jubilee shooting off her big gun, making every shot count, because she was kind of established in the beginning of the comic as their sharpshooter, their best shot. And then, of course, at the end, we see Baron Kelly return to Apocalypse's lair, with Mystique and others joining, plotting. So you do see Baron Kelly is a villain, still supported by Doom and Apocalypse and all these villains. So very interesting to see. Going into my last comic, I've got an unboxing to do. This is also from DCcomics. This is Dark Knight's Metal, including a few figures. So I'll show this off. This is from McFarlane Toys. Pretty cool packaging they've got here. They've even got a little comic book stand for your comic and for your figures. So I thought that was really cool. So I'll just be going into this real quick. Do need to open up the top. So going into that. Okay, so we've got the comic book out first. That's how that looks. Pretty good. Dark Knight's Metal. So, cool comic. It also comes with a little bookmark. So that's really cool. DC bookmark. That's always good to have. And let's see if I can pull these guys out. Guy out so far. Going to the next one. Alrighty, got this guy out. And now last part is the stand. Okay. Alright, let's see how this stand works. There you go. So it looks like that. And then you can even hold the comic book and the figures on the sides too. So really cool comic book and stand. I picked this up at Walgreens, guys. So if you're interested in picking up one of these, I'll slide the comic in real quick. Nice. So this is what it looks like. And then of course your figures are supposed to go on the sides. Still in the plastic, so it's kind of hard to hold up, but yeah, I thought that was really cool to pick up. Awesome that it holds your comic book for you. Obviously you want it to be up somewhere where it's stable, but with the little bit figures on the sides, that would be really cool, right guys, for a cool stand-up. But this will be my video for comic book reviews. Be sure to like the video, comment down below on what your thoughts are. Be sure to subscribe if you aren't already. You can follow my channel on Instagram and on Threads as well for future content. Thank you for clicking on another one of my video, guys. I'll be doing some more comic book reviews soon, as well as some more unboxing videos, all kinds of things for the channel. I appreciate you guys for clicking on the video, and have a good one. Bye bye. Alrighty, gotta find a place for the comics now. Have a good one.